Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you in the U.S. or wherever Thanksgiving is celebrated today. The kids are coming this afternoon. Dennis is calm. And it's so funny because, we're not having anybody extra, just Jason and Allison and the granddaughters, and me and Aura and Dennis. But it's a holiday meal, and it's a lot of cooking. So it puts more pressure on him. But we are very organized and very ready, and it's going to be just plain fun. So he's getting the turkey ready right now. What am I going to say? Oh, he made the stuffing last night. The house smelled delicious. It's a sausage and apple stuffing. He's not putting a lot of apples in it, certainly many fewer than the recipe calls for. And it's a recipe he found years ago that as a stuffing for duck. And we stuffed a duck with it. It was delicious. But Dennis just made it into a casserole with using, well, at that time he had duck stock left over from when we had the duck. And we also put some turnips in it to give it a little more oomph. Make it a little less dense because it's sausage, almost completely sausage. But anyway, we're not putting turnips in anymore because we're not eating turnips these days. But that's the stuffing in the turkey. And I suspect that it's not all going to fit. So we're going to end up with a little casserole-y kind of dish of the stuffing. So he's doing that. He did that last night. It smelled so good. And he made eggnog last night. And anyway, so we're feeling very ready. The kids are coming around 2. Dinner will be around 5. So we'll have the afternoon. I got this cool game that I don't know what happened to me. I was on Instagram. I bought 2 things from Instagram ads that session. I can't be on Instagram. Anyway, it's a card game with all these beautiful, the cards are about this big, all these beautiful pictures, and every picture is different. But the whole point of the game is to find similarities between pictures. This is a round thing and this is a round thing, that kind of stuff. These are keys, these are locks. And, sort of like match. It's a matching game, but nothing is exactly the same. You have to come up with your reason why you think it matches. And I think that's going to be a really fun game to play with the girls today. So I'm looking forward to that. And the pictures are beautiful. In fact, I might just, slip out a few of those and just think about inspiration for my painting because I keep feeling like I want to do that too. I'm not doing anything, so I don't know why. But that's a lie. I am doing something. So yesterday I took some advice from people and I went down to my size 3mm needles, hook. I did a couple rows, but as I was doing them, I was talking to Dennis and I said, oh yeah, and Leslie, and I can't remember who else it was. I'm so sorry. 2 people suggested doing a giant granny square because the bed is square. And I'm like, but I've never really done a granny square. And anyway, so it was after Aura went up. So it was 9:30. I decided, well, let me watch a video. See how to do a granny square. Because I know I can, I mean, it's pretty obvious that a granny square is the double crochet, which is what I know how to do. I can do a single crochet too. I think. I'm pretty sure I can do a single crochet. When I say that, in my mind comes a chain stitch, which aren't the same thing, and I know that too. So anyway, I started a new blanket last night. Here's my blanket. So I watched the video, and she showed me how to start and to keep going, and so I kept going. And so I decided to do it the same pattern that I've been doing it, which is 4 rows of color. This yarn has some beigey stuff in it, so it's hard to tell it's 4 rows, but it is. It's 4 rows of color, and then 2 rows of the cream. And now I'm starting my second set of rows with color. And I'm just using my ball rather than do it off the, I wasn't sure if this was going to work. So I didn't want to unhook my other thing and whatever. So I just started using the balls that I was collecting of the extra yarn. So that's what I'm doing this on. And anyway, I really enjoyed doing this granny square, and this is going to be a giant granny square blanket. So there you go. Here's my fourth start of my king size blanket. But I think that's going to be very fun. So there you go, my blanket. Whether I work on it today or not, I'm going to be playing cards with the granddaughters, but I'm going to be sitting chatting too, and I think I can do it chatting. I think I've gotten a hang of it to do it while I'm chatting. And but I have to tell you a funny story. Here's a little funny story for your Thanksgiving Day smile. And then I got to go. Yesterday, we were getting ready to take the dogs for a walk, and we leave Aura here by herself. And I realized that she didn't have any of her crossword books, and she didn't have her cell phone, which, you know, she gets texts, and, you know, she's not very proficient on her cell phone, but, you know, we've been working with her on it. So I went upstairs to get those things, and I got her a crossword book, but I couldn't find her cell phone upstairs. And I looked in her bedroom, I looked in the sitting room, I couldn't find her cell phone anywhere. I looked in her walker, which we call her chariot. It has a place to hold stuff, and I dug through that. I couldn't find her cell phone. So I came back down, and I looked around her chair, and I told her to put her hand down the side of her chair. I couldn't find her cell phone. So Dennis went upstairs, and I called her cell phone. So he went upstairs so he could listen for it upstairs, and I called her cell phone, and I didn't hear it. But she said, "Oh, I kind of hear it over there," and she points. I'm like, you know, he's like, "I don't hear it up here." He said, "Well, your mom says she hears it down here." Okay, so I don't hear it. I call it again. I don't hear it. And finally, I mute the TV, which has music on it. I mute the TV, and now I can hear it very quiet. So I'm digging around by her chair. You know, it's kind of in the middle of the living room, you know, so I'm digging in her chair because she has, or her chariot, she has a walker on both floors. So I'm digging through it, and, you know, and it's not in there. And I'm like, I don't get it. Dennis comes down. I'm like, look under her chair. Is it under there? I mean, I don't know where it is. So I call again, because of course then it goes to voicemail. I call it again. We can hear it. We couldn't find that phone. We could hear it, but we couldn't find it. Dennis is like, is there like a secret pocket in this walker? You know, I mean, it was crazy. I must have dialed 5 times. We could hear it. We couldn't find it. So Dennis says, "Mom, get up. You know, maybe it's like under you, or so I can tip the chair and look, you know, like if it fell down and it got caught underneath, you know, the chair or something." We could hear it. We couldn't find it. So she stands up, and Dennis like gets down to look under the chair, and he says, "Mom, it's you." Well, he said mother. He calls her mother. "Mother, it's on you." Now, we had just an hour before that had a conversation about how she has no pockets. And she was so annoyed. Why would anybody make pants with, now she's wearing sweatpants. Why would anybody make pants without pockets? And people need pockets because she likes to have her Kleenex nearby. And so we had just had a conversation about how she did not have a single pocket in the clothing she was wearing. He's like, "Mother, it's you've got it." And, you know, so she's like, "What do you mean I've got it?" And I'm thinking, you know, like when I get up from the deck and I have too many things, and I often don't have pockets, I stick my phone down my waistband and into my underwear, and I'm like, "Frisker, Frisker." She's like, I don't know where it is, you know. So finally I'm standing there and I said, is it in your slipper? So she sits down and takes off her slipper, and there's her phone in her slipper. She's been standing on her phone in her slipper. So when she was sitting in the recliner, her feet were up, and so it sounded like it was coming from the middle of the room. We laughed so hard, OMG. Because when she wants to bring something down, she sticks it in her upstairs chariot, and then she, you know, Dennis brought her slippers down, and then she has him downstairs. So, you know, so we can transfer things. Anyway, so either she put it in her slipper and forgot, or when she put it in her walker upstairs, it ended up going in her slipper. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And we're there, we could hear it. Well, and no wonder it was so quiet, because it was in her slipper. Anyway, we laughed so hard. Oh my God. I'm like, Frisker, Frisker. So she has her cell phone. I think we need to put it on vibrate. We need to add vibrate to it, because I think she would have noticed if it was vibrating in her slipper. Anyway. There you go. There's our story from yesterday, or a story from yesterday. I hope everyone has a wonderful day today. Those of you in the United States, enjoy your Thanksgiving. I have so much to be thankful for. I cannot enumerate it, but you are a big part of that, and thank you very much. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please stay safe and stay sane.